So who calls his mum every day? Is it Capello, Beckham or Rooney? It's Fabio Capello.
That's right, England manager Fabio Capello calls his mum Evelina every day. She says she loves hearing from him because he tells her how much he misses her cooking. Cliché, 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 cliché. You're watching The Right Stuff. Dr. David Bull, Kay Adams and special guest Angelica Bell, all present and correct. But first, how often is too often to call your mum? We should all be picking up the phone and calling the old dear this Sunday because it's Mother's Day. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. But 3/4 of us call our mums at least once a week the rest of the year. 1 in 3 of those do so every day. I bet they're all girls. Some of the women who work on this show admit to speaking to mum 5 times a day and texting a whole lot more often than that. And if they're not calling mum, mum's calling them. What have you got to say if you're in contact that often? According to the Stalinist-sounding Family and Parenting Institute... Family and Parenting Institute... I mean, honestly, having so many different ways to contact each other has upped our expectation of regular contact with our folks. Mobiles, email, texting, shouting through the letterbox. There's no excuse for being out of touch. But is it healthy? I feel like hugging Dame Jane Roberts, chair of advisory group Parenting UK, who says all this phoning and emailing is stopping mothers from cutting the apron strings and letting their kids grow up, and vice versa. Too much contact stops kids, grown-up kids, from leading fully independent lives. And one last thought, Angelica, what about Dad?
Oh.
I mean, so many people, Dad, oh, is Mum there?
But the thing is, with mobiles now, I don't ring the home line. So no one knows when I've rang my dad, so my mum doesn't know when I've rang my dad.
Who do you call more often?
See, I don't ring my mum and dad that often.
How often?
See, I don't... My dad's left 2 messages on my phone this week and I haven't rang him back yet. So actually, I'm actually feeling bad. So I think I ring my dad probably once a month. And But my dad and my stepdad and I text.
Right.
And he's quite busy. But my mum, I'd say I ring her on average once every 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
I suspect you're in the minority. I mean,
I'm in the minority, but my mum, I mean, if she's watching, she goes, Angelica doesn't... She'll be watching going, Angelica doesn't ring me enough. She's a disgusting child. But my mum was quite strict growing up with me.
Yeah.
So when I left home, I wanted to find my own independence and find myself. So I didn't want to be ringing her up or her saying, why aren't you doing this? Or, you know, you should be doing this. I wanted to do what I wanted to do. And so for me, it was quite a psychological thing, not to be ringing home all the time. I mean, now I ring...
So I totally get it.
Yeah, and, you know, that's my relationship with my mum, and I do ring her more now, especially as you get older. And when my dad passed away, I was like, oh, my gosh, you know, we're mortal, so you don't know when people are going to leave you, when your parents are going to leave you. So I do try and make a concerted effort, but it helps, because my mum also, if she didn't like the person I was with, she would only ring me to have a go at me. Are you still with that boy? You know, and you just don't need it. You know, like, oh my God, if you...
What about you, Kay? Are you a phone addict to your parents?
There's barely a day goes by, very unusual day goes by that I don't speak to my mum on the phone.
Who calls who? Do you call her, she calls you? 50,
it might surprise you to learn, my mum's quite a forceful personality. We're very unalike, very unalike. No, she's absolutely relentless.
Who calls who? So she calls
Usually she'll phone me, and she'll phone my mobile, and if I ignore it, she'll phone the home phone, whether I'm there or not, and then if I ignore that too, she'll go back to the mobile, and then she'll go back to the home phone. She will track me down, whatever, and eventually, even if I am in a mood to ignore her for like 5 minutes, you know, eventually I've got to pick up the phone.
Does it bother you?
Oh, no, well, God, it's just always been that way. No, I love it. Sometimes.
No. Angelica says something quite profound, which I'm sure resonates with you, David, which, of course, is you never know how long you have.
And I think you have contact with your parents at different lengths of time at different stages in your life. Yeah. And so Mum would also say, I don't ring enough. But, you know, there are times when I haven't phoned for a couple of weeks, but I do try and ring every week, and at the moment I ring every day. And you know, because I've just had a similar loss to yourself, and it's true, and I think there's nothing wrong, I don't think, with having a really strong relationship with your parents.
Equally, I have to say, because I'm with Angelica, my mum and I have had periods of very long times when we haven't spoken, and sometimes it's been needed, either for me or for her or for both of us.
But you mentioned cutting the apron strings. You know, I'm not exactly in the first flush of youth, and I think it's as you get older.
Difficult to tell though, David. From
Bless you. Well, it's all the surgery, obviously.
Thanks for being so honest. That's really good.
There's nothing wrong with having
Where are we going to go? I'm
relationship.
trying to think. Phones or audience? Phones or audience? Phones or audience? Phones or audience? Calls. Come on, let's do it.
Yeah. We're going to start with Mariam first on 19.
Mariam, good morning.
Morning.
Morning. So how often do you speak to your mum?
Well, I call my mum about 3 to 4 times a day. Because if I don't actually call her, she will, like Kay's mum, she will try and track me down and phone me.
What do you speak about, Mariam?
We just speak about, in general, what she's doing, what I'm doing, how's it going.
I'm on the phone to you. Later I'll be on the phone to you.
No, she'll be talking. She'll often talk about one of my sisters, or she's done this, or, you know, we kind of have a little bit of a gossip about each one and say, oh, well, no, she needs to learn. This is what she's got to do.
What about your dad still around?
Sorry,
yeah.
my dad. Unfortunately, my dad does always complain we don't phone him as often as we call my mum. And like you said, I do tend to call my mum's mobile, because otherwise, if I do call home, it's like, oh, hi, is mum there?
Yeah. Well, also the other one, which my father always used to do, was you'd phone and he'd just say, I'll get your mother.
But, you know, I kind of feel... maybe... Eric, what does the audience have to say?
Okay. By the way, I speak to my parents at home every day because I still live at home. But it's them who actually call me.
Cut the strings.
It's them who call me, and they always ask me the same question.
When are you going to move out?
No. That as well. Well, my dad's in the audience. He'll disagree. Anyway, Catherine, what do you think?
Well, yeah, no, I wouldn't speak to my mother 4 or 5 times. I mean, once a day or once a week, like you, I think it's fine. I mean, I really don't have that much.
Do you know people that do the 4 or 5 times a day thing?
Actually, no, I don't know. And my mother phones me as well, so, you know, I mean, if I don't hear from her by the end of a day, I do kind of worry because she's older. So that's on my mind. But, yeah, I don't see the need.
It does make me wonder if I'm working with a load of freaks, because, as if I wondered, because they are on the phone. Oh, Amy, can I just have a quick word with you? How often do you speak to your mum?
About 3 times a day.
I'm starting to feel like a really bad person.
No!
But it's interesting you say about the rebellion thing, because I never had that rebellion. I mean, my mother and I never had that period of tension, so I never had anything to break away from. But if you did...
Sometimes you have to fight for your little bit of independence, and once you've got it, maintain it. And, no, bless you.
No, but I will phone my dad. Dad, I'll phone you later.
Don't forget Mother's Day. OK, after the ads, we're asking...